Now, this is the Confederate flag. It has 13 stars in it. Okay? It has 13 stars in it. And one of them in the bottom right side, this is an ancient what you call Maya here, and it was right there documented in the wall because you see the X, everything is an X. So we identify the X. The X means the unions of all the tribes. So again, this is where they show you in Wakanda, you're doing the hand gestures all here. Okay? So it's the unifications of all the tribes that become one. Okay? So this is where they get the Confederacy, the Confederate flag from. And now they try to tell you it's about slaves. Let me explain this so you understand. Now look at the way they depicted these people. These are black, big ass people. We was not small. And this is why, like I said before, they have to go to Africa as they name it. It was never named Africa. They have to go to West Moorish, the west side of Moorish, Mauritanian. They have to get Mauritanian or that's the different way. That's Berbers, Mauritanian, and there's Moors. So pretty much they have to go in these regions and scout to bring soldiers because they know the Moors as mercenaries. They are soldiers themselves too. So they have to bring them here to help them go to war with us because we were no joke, to be exact. So now, this is what you see here. What you see here is us going to war in the Confederate, what you call the Confederacy War. Now, they tell you in their lie, within their story, oh, it was about slave. It was never about slave. But the thing is, what slave they talking about? This is what you got to understand. When they said slave, they are playing a trick game with you. Once you hear slave, you automatically thinking is people with darker skin people. No. These were the Slavic. The Slavic mean European, what you call indentured servant. This is where the uprising happened between us and the indentured servant going to war against them. So yes, it was about slave, but who? These indentured servants joined the war with us. They joined the fight with us to kick their asses. That's how we end up defeated all of these superpowers, and that's why we end up defeating Napoleon, because these indentured servants was our spies. Let me say it again. These indentured servants and their children was our spies. They were the ones snitching, telling us where the gun cargoes was. They were the ones telling us where they parked those ships. They were the ones telling us certain shit, and this is how we end up winning the war, because that's our land. We better know how to deal with the land more than they do. So this is what the Confederate war was all about. When it said slave, it was about those indentured servants that is come from the Slavic or the Slavic descent, because they trafficked them all over Africa and for generations and having babies and babies among babies, and they sent them here as a workforce. And this is what the Confederate flag was all about, the unification of the 13 tribes that comes together to kick out or kick the asses of these invaders that comes to our shores. So now, make no mistakes, you saw in this drawing how they depicted the original or the indigenous people. Now, the reason why today, right, you're going to find a lot of modern day natives. That's who they are, the pale skinned one or the straight hair. These are the babies we start having with these indentured servants. These indentured servants was the first original versions of them. And from having babies with them, then they become who they are today, a mulatto groups of babies. Okay? So now, this is where the story gets a bit weird down the line, because now, remember, they lost the war, but the people still around. The people that's in control still have they still got a game to be played. And this is where now they start to come up with the solutions of treaties. So now, as generation passed later, these mulatto children, remember I told you, these children was raised by them. They were the one that teach them English and teach them different language, Spanish or English. These children now become in power. They become the one that's in charge of our tribes. And this is where they start signing treaties with the Union. Remember, what you call the Union is what you call the United States of today. But the original 13 colony was never colony. These are 13 tribes, okay? And this is why you find a lot of Haitian ancestors was here in the Louisiana. The Haitian soldiers defeated Napoleon. So this was a part of the tribe that was already here, and that's why they show up here, because this is home, okay? This is home. This is why also you find another Haitian ancestors. They call him Point du Sable, Jean-Baptiste du Sable. This is actually what you call commercial names, because he was doing international trade. So he was not a founder of Chicago. Chicago tribe was also another tribe, okay? So out of the 13, Chicago was